So in 2 minutes, I took away the sensation of pain. The pain is still there, but you don't feel it anymore with hypnosis. Smoking, tobacco addiction, drug, alcohol, gaming, gambling. You have a lot of addictions.
From what age does hypnosis start?
My youngest one was 4 years old.
Wow.
Children,
Yeah.
for example, fear of dentists, bedwetting till 12, till 15, till 20.
There are cases of pedophilia or like the crazy cases, and the people who are accusing the victims of completely making it up. Is this a possibility? So we have a wonderful guest, a special wonderful guest here today. His name is Shlomi Levi from Paris, all the way from Paris. Shlomi Levi is a clinical hypnotherapist. We will ask Shlomi Levi to explain what this is all about.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate being here and being invited to speak here for you and answer the question and being able to explain what is hypnotherapy. So in a very short definition, hypnotherapy and hypnosis is a tool that allows people to get into a better therapy very fast and powerful. It's not a slow therapy, it's a fast and powerful therapy. Now, what is hypnosis exactly? Hypnosis is a state of mind and a state of a body. Let me explain. It's just a very relaxed mode. When you get into a relaxation mode, you get into what we call a daydreaming. It's like you are a little bit in the moon. You are here, but there. Your mind is somewhere else wandering. Like when you drive a car and it's on the highway, there's no danger. You can think about other things and you forget to go out on the exit because you are, in fact, in hypnosis. You're not fully conscious about what you're doing, but you're there. Or when a woman she's baking something that she knows by heart, so she's thinking about other things while she does things automatically, and that's called an hypnotic state. When you are in such an hypnotic state, your conscious mind is a little bit down, and the guard is off, and the filters are off, and therefore you are receptive to changes. You are receptive to listen to changes. And that's where the hypnotherapist comes into the game, to be able to put the person into such a relaxed mode. And when he is in a relaxed mode, speaking to him about changes that he wants. Obviously, he comes for a certain purpose. And with that state, the mind is open-minded and open to
hear different changes.
To hear changes. That's what is hypnosis. People are very scared about hypnosis because you control my mind, control like this. No, you go to a good person, you go to a reliable person, and anyway, they are all good people because they are therapists. They want the wellness of people, and therefore, it's nothing scary about. On the contrary, it's a very, very interesting and very deep state of the body and the mind that is very pleasant. Pleasant, why? Because you let go.
And what is the result of the people? What's the result when after an hypnosis? I mean, how many times is this?
The results, depending on why the person comes for. If we talk about, we have different domains. There are different domains which are going to touch the mental and the emotions of a person. You have a domain of, let's say, addictions, which people will relate a lot more, especially smoking, tobacco addiction, drug, alcohol, gaming, gambling. You have a lot of addictions. So this is one domain where people are a slave to something. And with hypnosis, we can make the subconscious mind understand that this is the wrong way to go through. and you can correct that path and don't go on that way anymore. It's correcting the Yetzer Hara,
Right.
It's
So the person gets a mind change.
yes,
It's an if when he comes out of the hypnosis, he wants to make a change
sure,
because his mind has
sure.
different ideas. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
it's like reprogramming,
Reprogramming, brain wiring.
yes, a certain program that you have. For example, if we take the addiction, but we can take, I don't know, a phobia. Phobia is when you're scared to go onto a plane, or you're going to scared to go on the elevator, or scared about dogs, whatever it is, the phobia. Your subconscious mind has been programmed to be scared of that thing, whatever it is, crowd, phobia to speak in public. We are used to speak in public because we are asked to say Advar Torah, but even in the frum world, people say, no, I don't want to say Advar Torah. I don't want
Yeah.
to speak in public. Why? Because you're scared of saying something to people. So we make a different program. I mean, we make the hypnotherapist just brings into the vision of the person that he, in fact, can speak in public. He can take the elevator. He can take the plane. There is no danger because all this is imagination. And you can correct that path.
Interesting. Now, you are a therapist also, a licensed therapist?
I am a therapist and I'm a coach. A coach is different than a therapist. But the two things can combine together in a very complementary way.
Right. So what is the difference really from a therapist to a coach?
A coach will not deal with, I would say it on quote, medical issues.
Medical or the past.
Yes. He will not deal with psychological issues. He will deal a little bit,
Yeah.
but that's not his main thing. His main thing, a coach, is to accompany somebody from point A to point
B. So he's looking forward more than going backwards.
Sure. Coach comes from a French word, which is le coche, which was a chariot, and le cocher was the one who was the horse rider of the
was taking you from point A to point B.
Point A is like a Uber, a chauffeur,
Right.
a driver. So a coach is somebody who is going to drive the person and help him drive his own car, but he's going to sit, he's going to be the co-pilot and directing into the right direction because the person is a little bit blocked. And it has nothing to do with being weak. Nothing to do, because you can be the president, you can be an executive in a large company, you can be a sport champ, you still need a coach. You still need somebody to take you along and to be able to make you go over your potential.
Correct.
And reach your potential, because alone, I'm not going to push myself, you know.
Right.
But when you are pushed,
it will make you the best you can be.
Exactly, the best version of yourself,
right.
And that's important to have a coach. A therapist will deal more with mental issues which are blocking the person,
right.
Like depression, like being scared, like all kinds of things, that even skin disease, but this is all stress.
Yeah.
A lot of stressed people are in the world, and so that's the job of the therapist.
So
trauma as well. Trauma as
also.
Yes, sure. That's not for a coach.
So you're a combo of all three.
Yes.
And this is you got your degrees in where?
In Paris, yes. I studied in schools in Paris.
Now you live in Paris, right?
I live in Paris, yes.
Now, tell us a little bit about the community over there. There's a
huge community.
Jewish community in Paris.
In Paris, you have about 300,000 Jews living in different neighborhoods. Arrondissement, it's called, and spread out all over.
Which neighborhood do you live in?
I live just outside of Paris, in the outskirts of Paris. I live 15 minutes away from Paris center. So I'm not in Paris proper. And I have a clinic in Paris where I go a few days a week, and I have another one where I live. So it's local, and I don't have to travel.
And you're in private practice? Or?
Yes. Yep. Private practice. However, let me tell you a little bit an anecdote. I was once in a shop to buy something, and I saw the owner of the shop limping, really, really bad limp. and he could not walk. So I asked him, "What do you have?" He said, "I just torn my ligaments, and I have to have an operation in the knee, and it's very painful." I said, "Okay, do you want me to help you to um, alleviate, you say, the pain a little bit,
Alleviate.
to relieve the pain a little bit? You have to have your operation, of course, but so that you don't have so much pain." He said, "Why not? I mean, I don't care. I'll try to do whatever you want." So in 2 minutes, I took away the sensation of pain. The pain is still there, but you don't feel it anymore with hypnosis. Take it away. And he was so amazed, it was unbelievable. What I didn't know is that his sales people, it was a big shop, so the sales ladies were filming it. And they put it on YouTube, and it was like public. After 1 week, I get a call from a hospital saying, "We want you to train us how to do this, because we want to take the pain away right away, like you did it in 1 minute, and we want you to train all of our staff, the nurses, the doctors, the psychologists, so that they can make operations in the block without anesthesia." So the truth is, I had never done that. I just know how to do it as a fun thing for, take away the pain, but to go into an operation block, operating, this is another story. It's a big responsibility,
Right.
They asked me, "You know how to do that?" I said, "Of course, no problem. Get me all the authorizations, because it has to be authorized by the hospital chief of staff." It was not a simple thing. And I told them, "Give me 2 months, please." So they gave me the 2 months. I got the authorizations. I learned, and I went into it deeply, and more and more. And then the big day came. It was in 2 days, Thursday and Friday. Thursday, the first day, was training. So I had to train the staff there, about 15 people, 20 people, with doctors, gynecologists, this, that, a lot of... Okay, I train. Training is nice and easy, and you can have a demo on the training, which is okay. Next day, 8 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning, they say, "Okay, now we go to the block." You say this in English, the block?
Yeah.
The operation...
The operation room. They don't
The
call it
operation
block.
room.
Yeah.
We call it the block in French. But okay, so I say the operation room. I said, "Okay, fine, we go." But they said, "No, you do it. And we watch you, because you are the master,
You're
I
trained.
say, "Okay, come on, okay." So I did it, and I was happily surprised, but surprised. It was my first time doing this, but and it worked very, very well. You have about 2 minutes to put somebody to sleep.
Yeah.
The person is on the, how do you call it? The bed.
Yeah.
The bed, the walking bed.
Right.
So going to the operating room.
Yeah.
So
From the preparation to the...
yes. So
surgery.
in the preparatory room, I start, and then I walk with the person.
While you walk, you do...
While you walk, you have to do it. Once they are there in the room, that's it. They can start the operation. So it was small operations, interventions. It was not a big thing, but still. And it was every half hour. Tack, every half hour.
That's how many people there were.
Because once one is started, then you start the other one, and the other one, they continue their job, but I have to go and do. It was very nice. So
it was a success.
Yeah, it was very good. Yes, it was a success. I was very happy. They were all very happy, and that was because of this
YouTube thing. What drew you to get into this hypnosis and coach and therapy?
Yes, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. What drew me? The first thing is, I am someone who is interested in human beings' well-being, to do good to people and to help people. If you don't have that
giver mentality,
yes, exactly. You have, and this is, I will make a parenthesis here, because you are saying something that is very, very important. In the world, you have two types of people, or a few types of people. Well, you have a group which is the giver group, and you have one which is the taker group.
Of course.
You have givers and takers. You have selfish people and you have generous people. And either one, you belong into one group or the other. That's what I realized along with
all your experience,
my experience in human being and behaviors. And
correct.
People take or give,
Okay. So it
That's-
depends which category you want to be in.
So doctors and therapists and people who are into giving, they are doing this type of job. They can do other types of job, obviously,
Right.
like helping, all kinds of help and tzedakah thing. But so I had this thing in me all the time, and a few years ago, 8, 9 years ago, unfortunately, I lost my father. After I lost my father, about 3 months later, I developed a rash, a very heavy and burning rash, and it was traveling all over my body. It was not one place. I didn't know what it was. I went to see dermatologists in France. They made tests, they did this, nothing. Then I had to travel to Israel. I made another test over there for 3 hours. Nothing. They just say stress, but I'm not stressed. When people don't know, doctors don't know what it is, they say stress. Maybe it's stress also, but
Also related.
I'm not stressed.
What is it that you had a special relationship with your father?
Yeah, but I'll come to that. Then they gave me antihistaminic pills. Then it disappeared for 2 weeks. After it was again and again. After it was 3 days. Every 3 days I had to take a pill. And I was like, come on, it doesn't stop this thing, for a year. And I heard on the radio that hypnosis can cure skin disease.
Wow.
Skin like psoriasis and other things, like because everything is coming from the mind.
Yeah, the mind and the body is the same.
No, but the
Work
body
together.
shows what the mind has. The body is sending
It's a
messages.
message, right?
Yeah, and you have a lot of symbolism into the disease. Where is it hurting you? That's where in your mind you have a problem. Okay. So I looked on Google, and when I looked, I saw training in hypnosis. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to go to somebody. I'm going to help myself.
But you were already a therapist or a coach?
No,
Nothing.
No, I'm a telecom engineer. So I had a telecom company, and
So you were not in this field at all?
No, not at
Wow.
all. I was in
Amazing.
telecommunications and speaking from machines to machines. Now I speak from human to human, but still in communication. So basically, after a year, I had not solved my problem because I didn't find I was not looking for a therapist. Now I knew how it works inside, but still the problem was there. And one day I met another hypnotherapist who had done his studies in America. And it's a bit different in America than in France. In France, we don't make people speak. We don't make them speak. We speak and they listen. Okay, it's a method. In America, they make the people speak more. So she was trained in America, and I went for the hypnosis with her. And she asked the question. So she put me under hypnosis. And when you are under hypnosis, the part of yourself who is listening is the subconscious part, not the conscious part. The conscious part is right now what we're doing.
Right.
The subconscious part is when the conscious part is out of the way. We speak to your subconscious mind. So she asked my subconscious mind, she said, why do you give such a rush? Why do you do that? And I answered an answer which I didn't know. I said, because I never said goodbye to my father. My father passed away, and I was taken away from the room. In 2 minutes, he passed away, but I
didn't feel like that was a closure type of thing.
I did not say goodbye.
Oh.
And that is a shock, which I didn't realize. But my subconscious mind realized, sent me something to the body. I had to fix this. So she said, say goodbye to your father now. And I said, and then she said to me, and now you're going to answer what your father would have answered you. And I answered. And after, I woke up from this, and it was finished. No more rash, no more nothing.
Unbelievable stuff.
I had this medicine for a year and in my pocket all the time. I could not miss because one day it was burning.
How long is a session like that?
A session is about, the session is divided into two. There is a speaking part, which can be 15, 20 minutes, half an hour speaking. We're speaking to know exactly where we're going, what you do, where you're holding, what you're doing, etc. And then there is a second part, which can be half an hour, it can be 20 minutes, it can be 10 minutes or 5 minutes, doesn't matter, which is the proper hypnosis session. And that goes to the point. And that went like 20 minutes or so, or something like that. It was, no big deal. But no big deal. But yes, big deal. It's a big thing. And since then, when I see people who have this, I make the same thing. I do the same thing because it's that. It is that. It's unbelievable.
So that gave you an insight of to get into this and try to help other people.
Yes. The insight to go into this was that when I learned the training on hypnosis, I saw, but you know what? I know all this. This is all from Torah perspective. This is all a Torah thing, except that the Goyim have put it into a very orderly manner. They are very, there is a seder, how to start things, and we have it spread out in the Gemaras, in the Chumash, whatever.
But it's all there.
But it's all there. It's all in the Chazal. It's all in this thing. Let me give you an example, okay? I give lectures on Torah and hypnosis. So I explain with psukim, with this, with poskim, and I took a lot of sources, but one of the sources, okay, as a joke, who was the first hypnotherapist in the Torah? Hashem. He had to hypnotize Adam Arishon to make him accept that he should take a wife. He put him through deep.
There's no hypnosis.
The tardema, so the deep sleep, in order to operate on him. So he did anesthesia.
That's true.
And then he had no choice. She was there. That's it.
It's the first place where it's in the toilet.
Manipulation. As I said before, hypnosis is a state of daydreaming. Daydreaming means, what is a dream? A dream is something that you want to get there. What did Yaakov Avinu dream? He was dreaming. There was a ladder, and Malachim going up and down. And normally Malachim should go down and up, not up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch explains, says like the Malachim were going up to the Kisei HaKavod. On the Kisei HaKavod was the tzura, the image of Yaakov Avinu. And they were going down to Yaakov, the young Yaakov, saying, look, this is what you can be. You can become the Yaakov Avinu or not. And then he woke up. He says, wow, this is the Makom, and now I know this is where I want to be. This is my dream. And this is what I want to achieve. So hypnosis is making a person dream about a different future about himself, because that's why he's coming for. He's coming to have a new vision of himself. Wow. And that's what, let's say, the Goyim do when they do simulations. You want to learn how to pilot, to be a pilot or be on a plane. They put you into a fake thing, into a simulator.
Yeah.
You're into a simulator for driving, for whatever it is, because once you do things and you repeat it and you dream about it, then you can get to that point.
Yeah, so because that's what I want to understand. How, if you talk to the unconscious mind, if you can tap into the unconscious mind, what makes the person, when he comes out of it, to go and do it? I mean, he has a good session as the hypnosis is happening. He has a chulam, he has this, he has that. But where does the change happen,
Exactly the same way that you had a dream of building this room.
Correct. And it ended up being a dream. Oh, and we did it.
Yes. Because you see it. You don't need hypnosis.
Right. You have a vision for it. What you do is you open up a vision to the unconscious mind of where he should be. And when you have that vision, that person puts one foot in front of the other. He actually goes ahead and he does it. That's what it is?
Yes. You concretize your dream. Your dream becomes real. A dream, if you want to make your dream real, wake up.
Right.
And do it. Don't let it dreaming. Don't sleep.
Right.
So make your dream happen.
So this is what his hypnosis is all about.
Exactly.
You're taking the person's dream that he wants really unconsciously, and you bring it to the forefront, and
Even
then this
consciously.
person is actually going and
Yes.
pursuing it.
Exactly. Even consciously, because consciously people want to do things. They want to lose
But they're
weight.
stuck in
They
certain
want to
ways.
stop
Yeah.
smoking.
So
They
let's
want to be
just
whatever.
take lose weight. Weight loss is a
Yes.
huge thing.
Yes.
How does hypnosis work with
Hypnosis
because you would say to this is how you want to be healthy, or this is how you envision yourself looking, and then you come out of it and you're like, I'm not going to touch this food anymore.
Yes,
Is that
exactly. But it's tough.
because how many and you're
Okay.
saying this is fast, right? You want to tell
All
me
right.
that after one session or
What
two
is
sessions?
no. What is fast and what is slow, according to you?
Slow is it's a lifetime change. Losing weight, it's not something that you can go in and you have a good day or a good week and then you fall back. Like every other thing.
Okay, so let me tell you, the losing weight can I mean, the overweight of a person comes for different reasons with different people. So one is not to be compared with the other,
Because
because one can
different
eat because
metabolisms and
yes,
different
and for
genes,
different
right?
reasons. Okay, different reasons. One could be because in his childhood, his parents fed him a lot. Okay, fine, they fed him a lot. Okay, but or it can be because he had a kind of
Developed bad habits also.
bad
And
habit.
some people eat for stress. And
Yeah,
some
exactly. Stress, emotion.
comfort food.
Exactly. So this then is easier to stop. But it's not one session. In other words, I am not going to change somebody's life in 60 minutes. It's impossible.
Correct.
Especially food, because food is 3 times a day or more, and it's good for living. It's not like cigarettes. Cigarette we know is bad, is deadly, so it's in one session we stop it. But food is different, and for food, I take about 3 months. I accompany the person 3 months, and each week, and after every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, we see each other.
This is just hypnosis only. This is not therapy.
And talking and directions and different type of habits, and of course diet, without a diet, but change of habits. So
And
with
after
the
3 months, you've seen a tremendous results.
yeah, unbelievable result. Oh yes, it's like each week 2 pounds off without dieting. About
What is the long-term effect? Let's say after 3 months, and
the long term is that you are
it's already
reprogrammed.
in the system.
It's being in the system. You are reprogrammed. Doesn't mean that somebody cannot fail, cannot do this. Of course, we are all human, and nothing is. So I do give a boost every month or every 2 months to people who have come and they need a little boost, whatever
Right.
it is, but they do stop. And the most important thing to stop is the addictive effect of the food. Once you have a normal relationship with food, because food is a relationship,
Correct.
like a friend or a wife or whatever it is a relationship.
Yeah.
You can fall in love
Are people
with it.
addicted to food? You can call it addiction.
Of course. Of course.
Before you go, after you go,
Chocolate,
but it's
cake.
also a whole big. We're going to eat. We're gonna buy. The whole life revolves around food.
Yes, and mach bracha. That's
Yeah.
the biggest yetzer hara that is there. You justified it. I'm making a bracha, so it's good to eat.
Or on Shabbos, you overeat on Shabbos.
Shabbos
a
is a
lot.
killer.
Because you overeat and it's you let go on Shabbos. You feel like
you overeat. Then you have the second neshama and you so all kinds of tirutzim to eat more. But at the end of the day, you do put on a lot.
It catches up on you.
A lot of weight, and that's not healthy at all. It's not good. And I see people on Shabbos because I am invited to different smachos and everything. And when we see people who eat a little bit, people who eat more, they enjoy. They have the oneg Shabbos.
They know when to stop.
Yes. So yeah, food.
And this is a huge struggle that people have with.
It's
with
huge struggle.
Overweight. It's tremendous. It's not so simple. It's not like.
Okay, but in hypnosis, it goes simpler. I don't say that it is simple, but
it's a tool to help you. It's definitely a tool to help you.
It's a tool to help, on the condition that there is a letting go, acceptation of doing it, and commitment. You have to be committed. It's not
Right.
a magic wand.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
It's not magic. It requires work, but it's a help. It's a
And what
big
and
help.
what are the ages? Let's say their children also can
Yes.
you can do it. From what age does hypnosis start?
My youngest one was 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of issues?
For children,
Yeah.
for example, fear of dentists. Okay.
Oh,
She didn't want to go to the dentist. Or urinating in bed,
Yeah.
bedwetting.
all these kind of things.
Bedwetting till 12, till 15, till 20,
And the
others.
parents bring him to
Yes.
try to.
Yes. To stop bedwetting. Or children who don't want to eat vegetables. For example, about a month ago, I had a girl who was 11 years old, small like this, because she ate only bread, pizza, pasta, all the
Yeah.
Maisonneau stuff,
Right.
and no fruits and no vegetables, nothing.
No nutrition food.
Yes, and she got carence, lacking of vitamins, and
Yeah.
the body got sick out of not eating
Oh.
healthy things. So the mother called me and she wanted that I see her daughter. I said, okay, fine. So she brought her in. And then I said to the mother, look, you're going to leave me alone with her. And now you go to the shop and you're going to buy carrots, you're going to buy celery, you're going to buy cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, which she never tasted.
Oh.
So I said, okay. So she went to the shop and I stayed with her, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, speaking, hypnosis. The mother came back. We had a full platter of fruits and vegetables. For the first time in her life, she ate.
While she
And
was in the this is
away.
where
It took an hour in the total thing, and the mother was crying and crying and crying. She never saw
Couldn't
her
believe
daughter eating. I have the pictures and everything. It's very nice. Yes, yes, it was. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's very. It's.
And who's your clientele? Is it the Jewish community in Paris, or it's a
in
mix?
Paris, I have 80% non-Jews,
80% non-Jews,
and 20% Jews,
wow.
and 5% Frum.
Yeah. Now you also
But let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because it's very important to
Yeah.
know this. And one of the reasons I'm here in Monsey is to speak and to show to the Frum community that this is a tremendous tool. It's an unbelievable tool.
I mean, people know about it, but they're not
very
people
educated
about it. Yeah.
People are scared when they hear hypnosis. They think immediately of a show.
Yeah.
Because there is hypnosis.
Because I've seen these shows and people are like being made fun of. And
yes.
It looks like their mind is being taken over completely. You can make them do whatever they want.
Yes.
People are not ready, especially from people, are not ready to not put themselves out there on stage, forget about that, but even in person, to just let a person just come in and some people are like, are there people who you cannot hypnotize?
Yes.
Like people who fight back, right? Is that what it is?
But then they don't come.
Right.
No, but let me explain to you. You have, and then I'll go back to the Frum community.
Yeah.
You have the show hypnosis.
Yeah.
The show hypnosis is made for a show, for a spectacular effect.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about being on stage. We're talking about a one-to-one therapist rapport, relationship. There is nobody, there's no show, there's no camera, nothing.
Right.
So there's nothing to be afraid of. Everything is secured and controlled. Okay.
But the question is, do you have the capability to make a show like that?
Yes, I do shows.
You do?
I do also. It's
like
not
comedy shows?
Yes, I do. In the Frum Olam, I had a gala with Chabad, with this. I do Pesach shows. I do birthday shows.
So this is something that a person should. This is a person that he feels that he's surrendering completely to a.
It's an experience.
Yeah,
it's
some people are up for it, but
yes, it's an experience. Now, when I do the show, I never do the show with making fun of the person.
Of course,
it's a funny thing, but I don't ridicule it.
Right.
It's. I stay, in a proper ethical manner, and but it's still fun. The Frum community is scared because they think that they're going to reveal secrets, whatever. This is all baloney, It's all. It's nothing. And it's all things that are in their imaginations. But one day, and that's why I'm here to a little bit explain that this is a regular therapy and it is a powerful.
And it can really help people. People who suffer can really be helped with this.
People who suffer, and unfortunately, they leave suffering, they stay suffering, and they will die suffering.
Unbelievable. Now
they get sick.
You help people in the United States as well?
Yes, of course.
How do you go from Paris to?
Because I come here often.
Oh yeah.
I come here often. I have a sister living in Monsey. I myself learned in yeshiva in Monsey a long time ago.
Yeah. Which one?
Or Sameach.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
So I was in Or Sameach. Yeah. So Monsey is like a second home to me.
Right. So you come a few times a year.
I come a few times a year.
And you see clients over here?
And I see clients over here. And then I follow them on Zoom.
You can do hypnosis on Zoom as well?
Yes.
And it works just as good as in person?
It works good. I wouldn't say just as good, but it works well. You can do it on phone without the Zoom,
wow.
Because
that's how powerful this stuff. It's if the person,
the mind has to listen.
If the mind wants to do, if you don't resist, then it could work.
You say the word resistance.
Yeah.
If you want to resist, so then don't come.
Right. But how is it with children? Do children understand hypnosis?
Yes.
Or they fall into it quickly?
Children are very open to this because children are only subconscious. They are unconscious. Children don't have
an adult can fight back. An adult is a player.
Exactly. But children have imagination.
Right.
They have a tremendous imagination. Right. They dream. Their life is a dream till about 7, 8 years old. So afterwards, they start becoming more conscious of things, and they start growing up, and they have what's called a das, and when they're bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, then they become bar das. But the das comes before 9 years old. They start understanding things, of course. But so hypnosis with children is imagination, so is dreaming. That's one of the methods of the Torah is to tell stories. We have to hear these stories about Avraham Avinu, Yaakov, about Moshe, about Zipporah, about this, about Rachel, Leah. We have to hear these stories. Why couldn't the Torah say, you have to be a Baal Chesed and do this and that? It doesn't speak to me. I need to hear the Maaseh, the story. So you tell a story to a child, but you tell a story into the hypnosis session. The session is, and it's called storytelling.
Yeah.
And you will see that if you want to see who is a good speaker, a good darshan will always say a story, a personal story, a story he heard, whatever it is. Yeah. The Goyish world, they also have this thing, okay, and it's they call it my friend John. I have a friend called John, and he has exactly the same problem you have, and it happens that he did that and that. Wow! Right. So somebody else has got,
a story
has got a story to tell, and that's the storytelling. Is this is the mashalim, the midrashim? Yeah. A mashal. What is a mashal? Why you need a mashal for? Explain to me the theory. No, I'm going to tell you a story.
You relate to it. Your mind relates to it.
Yes. Mind relates to the story, and the subconscious mind, who is about age of 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, needs a story to understand. Right.
In the hypnosis community, you feel that everything that can be cured with hypnosis, which means stuttering or anything that children suffer from or adults.
No, not everything. Not everything. If it's not heavy psychiatric problems, if it's only in mental or emotional problems, yes. If it's too heavy, like bipolarity, you say?
Yeah, like bipolar or
schizophrenia.
All this
serious stuff, I don't touch personally.
That's medication.
Yes. I don't deal with that, But people are struggling in their life, and that's a pity, and that's a real pity. Relationship, whether it's a spouse relationship, whether it's friends, whether it's business.
What about the old memories that it's very interesting. Even adults, you're talking about 50, 60, 70 years old, and sometimes you can hear from them that they remember what a child told them or what a rabbi told them, but they can't get it out of their head. They just can't. That person embarrassed me, or that person said something, even sometimes positive. Also, that person said something, changed my life 200%. That's that sits over there, and
that's called an anchor. You know,
an anchor. Yeah,
for the boat.
yeah. So your anchor
is anchored in.
But that's a good thing. It's a bad thing. You have to get rid of it. Or like, let's say if a person somehow he will always remember what a friend said to him, good or bad.
Yes.
And he can speak about it. He's 65 years old. He said, I will never forget this.
Yes.
He doesn't have anger. He doesn't have anger. He's not upset. He's not anything. It just sits there.
Yes.
So I'm trying to see where this comes in with hypnosis.
We use this a lot to unanchor something that is anchored, and to anchor on the contrary. So to put
something positive in it.
Exactly.
Connect that with something positive.
Yes. For example, you can have a child who is an adult who is afraid of going to planes. Were you ever in a crash? Did you this? Did you that? Did you go to never. One
you
day,
interview the client.
Yeah.
In the hour of hypnosis, and while this person is sleeping,
no,
you're getting a full interview.
No. Before I ask him.
Before he's sleeping.
Yeah.
So just when he's sleeping, you take over then, and you talk to the mind.
Yes.
And then the person gets up.
Yes, but to continue the story. So this person remembers that one day his mother was speaking to a friend, and the friend was telling she was on a plane, and the plane had turbulences, and it was scary like that. It was unbelievable, blah, 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 blah. So the child got this message, got this anchor, and since then doesn't want to go into a plane.
He's stuck with that.
Because he heard from this. So for you as an adult, it's a simple conversation. It's a stomach conversation. For a child to listen to that, it's a trauma.
Right.
So it makes a real impact on the child's mind. So you have to be very careful when you speak with your friends, even with your wife, whatever. A child listening that doesn't understand everything.
But it sets in there. It goes in there like sometimes like a little poison or something.
Yes, exactly.
And they make their own. They have their own ideas. What they make of it.
Yes.
And it sits over there
because they have an imagination, and the imagination can go wild, or positive or negative. We know imagination can be bad, can be good.
Now, is it fair to say that hypnosis plays with the mind, with the person's mind, or that's not a nice way to put it?
It's not plays. It's not plays. It's a reprogramming.
It's reprogramming. Now, can you explain the difference of it's a new craze of the psychedelics now? There's a lot of people very much into it. The ayahuasca and breathing is also something new that's becoming very popular. And even in the film community, believe it or not, I mean, a lot of people are talking about it, about these ayahuascas, and there's the shamans, the people who like running this, professionals, and then there are not professionals, and then there's just regular psychedelics like mushrooms and stuff like that. What does that do to the brain, and what does hypnosis do to the brain?
You smoke?
No.
Okay. But you smoked once?
Never did.
Okay. Rare person.
Yeah.
Okay. When somebody takes a substance, whether it's tobacco, which is let's say mild, or cocaine,
drugs,
or mushrooms, whatever it is, it goes into the brain, into the neurons, and it affects the neurotransmitters.
In which way?
It has
molecules. It makes it down, up,
the
better.
The molecules. It's just like a pill. A pill has got chemical molecules that will affect your brain to feel this, to feel that, whatever it is that the person needs to have. And therefore, the brain is affected by this, and it brings hallucinations, and it brings different types of emotions
but hallucinations is not a positive thing at all. What is hallucinations? Why is it so? Why would someone want to have hallucinations or see colors or stuff like that?
Because people are sad and
in their regular state of mind, and they want to go
they need
away.
space out, go away from this.
It gives them a high,
Yes, but that high is totally
temporary.
temporarily. It's totally how do you call it? Not real, right? It's virtual
Yeah,
and doesn't exist for real. So it's not like a real simcha. You know, where at the wedding, there you have a real simcha. You are high from the real simcha, from the dancing, from the
right,
music, but
right.
it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's not from something chemical that you took.
That you put in to get a reaction.
Yes. And that thing is it brings big damages to the brain and to the body. But it's like alcohol. Alcohol also.
Right, same thing.
Okay. So it affects the brain, it affects the body, and people don't feel that they want to forget about their daily life.
Correct.
And this is the way to forget their daily life. It brings them a good feeling at the time, but afterwards you have a price to pay.
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
a price to pay
There's
for
a
it.
price to pay,
Yeah.
of course. So all these alternatives, I don't call them alternatives, but these are really drugs,
They're very negative.
very negative. And so why damage your brain and damage your body?
How is it damaging the brain? In which way?
Because the neurotransmitters are being destroyed by these.
Because every other drug or every other psychedelic is sometimes gives a person a self-esteem. I don't, you know what I mean?
But
It gives him like it makes him feel superior or something.
it's all artificial.
It doesn't have a long-term or healthy effect on the
Nothing.
person.
Nothing. And we know today that smoking weed, these things will affect your memory after a few years, will affect your reflex.
Yeah,
It's terrible, and people tend to forget, and they say,
it's unbelievable what's going on the street with these youngsters. The youngsters today, everybody wants to test it out, everybody wants to taste it, and you're cool if you take it because everybody's taking it, and it just has a tremendous effect on people and families and on life, and it's just it's like a pandemic, you know.
Yes, but the bottom line is people are so unhappy in their lives that they're looking for something to get
right. So here's where hypnosis comes in. In the world of addictions, what they say is that really the person does not love the bottle. The person does not love the actual drug. They're hiding something.
Yeah.
They have a problem which was not dealt with.
Yes.
And they use the bottle to cover that up.
Exactly.
So that's what do they do in rehabs? They sit in rehabs all day from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night in meetings. What do they do in meetings? Talking about their lives, talking and figuring it out, understanding it back. That's all they do. And people say, what are they doing in rehab all day, 12 hours a day? They talk it out. They want to understand. What are you hiding? What are you running away from? So as far as curing an addiction through hypnosis, is some people call it a disease, and some people are very against the word disease because what do you mean it's a disease? This person has a particular problem, whatever his problem is, and the way he chose to deal with the problem is to drink alcohol.
Yeah, it's not a disease because a disease is something that you
didn't take for yourself and you can't control it.
Yeah, somebody has inside his mind, his body. It's really a slavery. It's an addiction. It's the mind. You cannot be independent, and it's a dependency on things. You know,
Right.
Whether it's this little stick, cigarette stick, I call it a cancer stick, or drugs or alcohol, but it's something that more and more you take it, the more it brings you a certain type of pleasure, which becomes addictive, and therefore you don't stop. In America, they are specialists with addiction of food products. Like you will take peanuts, but it's not simple peanuts. They will put all kinds of peppers and of spices to make you want to eat more and more and more.
Yeah.
It's also an addiction, and flavors.
It does something to the brain that you want more. Yeah,
of course, it does. They found out that Marlboro in the 1970s, their sales went up tremendously compared to the other tobacco manufacturers. They were wondering why Marlboro was so successful, And they found out after a few years, whatever, that Marlboro was putting sugar into the tobacco. And so the sugar goes right to the brain, and the brain is addicted to sugar and wants more sugar and more sugar.
Yeah.
And that's how they, they were able to make such sales.
What is your opinion about how to handle addictions? Heavy addictions, drugs, alcohol, gambling, all these type of things.
Don't do it alone. You won't succeed. Alone is impossible. You have to be accompanied by somebody.
Like go to meetings and stuff like that.
Yes, also. And there are things to do, homeworks to do.
But the first step is to admit that you have a problem. Like,
of course.
If you don't admit, if you think that this is just, it's only Shabbos, it's I'm drinking by the Kiddush and stuff like that. But
no, first to admit that you have a problem.
Right, and unfortunately, most people don't admit it till it's
too late.
Till it's too late. Till the people around them are telling them, or whatever the case is.
Exactly.
Till they lose the kids and whatever, their family.
If you don't know that you have a problem, then there is nothing to solve.
Right. So there's they're in denial. Yeah.
Yes. There's nothing. I have nothing. What do you want from me?
Right.
Everything is good in my life, so I have nothing to solve. And okay. And they say, okay, I prefer to be alone and happy than to go and see somebody and that I will think that I am mentally retarded or whatever. No.
Yeah.
It's not that,
But the thing is, but where is the foundation? Where do you have to? Is it is missing education for the youngsters, like for where they start off, or the connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom? I just what's missing that people are running away from their lives. They don't want to face it. They don't have a good foundation of what life is all about.
I don't think so. It's funny you say this. I have 2 weeks ago in Paris, I have a Bachur Yeshiva who came to me. He's learning in Israel. He's the son of the Av Bezdin, one of the Av Bezdin in Paris. So he's a very chashuv family, and he's a good boy, really, really good. I've seen him a few times. He comes, and I like him a lot. He's very nice boy. And tells me, please, I want to stop smoking. But I am in yeshiva in Israel, and every single bachur is smoking.
Right?
And therefore, even if I want, I can't, because the whole chevra, hey, you don't smoke, you are abnormal. You have to smoke.
Yeah.
And he's coming from a good mishpacha, and he has good basis, and he knows, and he understands, and he's smart. But everyone is smoking. So
doesn't want to be left out.
Chevra is sick. What do you do? And the problem is, if the Rosh Yeshiva is smoking also, then it makes it worse.
Kosher.
You see, so there is a sefer that was written by the secretary of Rav Shach. It's Chaim Lelo Ishun Al Pi HaTorah. And it's an unbelievable sefer.
I actually have it over here.
You have it?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. I have it.
So this is, anybody who is smoking or who has an addiction or whatever it is should read it. Because it says there that, Akol b'dei shamayim chutz mitzanim pachim. So everything is min hashamayim, except if you act in a way that naturally you get sick, it's not min hashamayim. You got yourself this disease.
Mm-hmm.
You eat 4 pounds of chocolate and you get a stomachache. It's not min hashamayim. You should not have eaten the 4 pounds of chocolate.
Right.
So if somebody smokes cigarette and has a lung cancer, it's not min hashamayim. It's you who put it yourself, because the Torah tells you, so keep yourself, guard your body, be a bodyguard to your body, and don't smoke and don't do dangerous things. So it says in Sefer, Asur lerachem alav. This person has put himself in danger. Why do you daven for him, Bechlal? It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Why should Hashem now heal that person and bring healing when he put himself his hand in the fire and he thinks it's not going to burn? It's going to burn.
Yeah.
So it's quite bad, and he brings a lot of halachos on this, and people who have shutaf in business and who smoke, they die because of this. The Rambam is making a thing that he should not get anything, because he put himself in danger himself. It's not Hashemayim. So you jeopardize your own life and your family life and your business life and everything. is tough on it. But people don't know. They don't know this suffer. They should buy it.
Right.
They really should buy it. But to come back to your question, unfortunately, the chevra in America, in Israel, everywhere, and the young chevra wants to. They are not satisfied anymore with the black and white page of Gemara.
Right.
And now today is multimedia and 3Ds and 4Ds and whatever it
Right.
is, and they need color and music and this. How can you compete with that? So they still want to be in learning, and maybe with hallucinations, psychedelics, they will have that multimedia stuff that the others are.
Yeah.
But it's wrong. It's totally wrong.
That's unbelievable stuff. Now, we were saying before, there are people who are just not cut out for hypnosis. Like you cannot put them to sleep.
Yes, only we can put them. No, sleep is not
But
the
it's
right
very
word, because
not
you don't
sleep. Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
You're just relaxing.
Relaxing.
People who don't want to relax, who are resistant, and who
Or they're never relaxed. This is what their life
exactly.
is all about. They're always in control, and they're always
in control, always stressed.
and they're always resisting.
Okay, and you say the word, they want to be in control. But I say to them, there's only one who's controlling above. You don't control anything.
Right.
So if you have the illusion that you control, then Hashem will tell you, okay, control.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your
Let's see
business.
how you do it.
Okay, let's see. But it doesn't work, and that's why their life is tough. And their life is tough, and they are tough with their lives. So it's a pity. Instead of being relaxed, being cool, and yes, these people are hard to go into therapy, and that's why I only have 5% of from people, because the more into Torah you are, the less the more you want to say, okay, I'm smarter. I'm smarter. I can do better. I can control better. The less in Torah you are, okay, I know that I don't know. I'm going to put my hands into a therapist and let him help me. And that's what the goyim do.
Right.
Let him help me. I acknowledge that I have a problem.
Right.
I want to be cured.
So they have a harder time to admit that even though their lives are very, some marriages or some the lives are not easy.
No,
they will not. They're not open for ideas. Not open to help.
No, and that's a real pity, because it has gone into the popular mind that if you go see somebody for help,
it's like a stigma. Yeah,
you are really
something is wrong, right?
Mentally something.
And on the other hand, it's just the opposite.
It's just the opposite.
It's just the opposite. It takes such courage of a person to go in and to have an open mind and learn from another person, and say maybe the other person has something to say that you didn't know before. But
a psychologist,
tremendous courage,
has learned how the human mind functions,
right,
and how to help other people with problems.
Yeah, why is it different than if you get a plumber to fix your? Exactly. If you want, it's broken, you come and you fix. A professional.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that he's your rabbi. It doesn't mean that he is your. But at least go to a professional, and listen to another person's opinion. It doesn't mean that you know everything so perfectly.
Yes, exactly. They don't go, and and it's a real pity. It's a real pity. That's why the Frum community should be educated to go and see. Because, they say, I'm going to the Rebbe, but the Rebbe doesn't have time for all this.
Right.
It's a daily or weekly process. And also the Rav doesn't have all the tools.
Right.
Well, there are therapeutic tools, there are therapeutic coaching tools.
If he is smart, he is sending you to a professional.
Yes, they do.
They do.
A lot of them do. Yes, sure, because they recognize they cannot deal with it.
No, this is a long-term thing. This is something that you got to go and really get into it.
Yes.
So is there ever that you saw a very surprising transformation that you remember, that you had a client and you saw something amazing that you couldn't believe?
A lot. There are a lot of, couldn't believe, yes and no, because I believe.
You go in believing that this could happen.
Let me tell you one or two stories about this. I went once into a store in Paris, like a 7-Eleven store, to buy a drink. I was thirsty. I wanted to buy a drink. So I bought one bottle of juice, whatever. And the guy there was a Pakistani guy, young guy, 20-something. He thanked me, but he thanked me with all his heart. Thank you so much for buying for me. Thank you. I said, why do you thank me? I didn't buy for $1,000 or $500 merchandise. I bought
Drink.
$1 or $2 drink, euro. He said, no, I don't have any customers. Customers don't come. And therefore, every customer that comes in, I thank him.
And I
because
appreciate it.
I appreciate
Grateful
the
for
money. So I told him, you want to have customers? He said, sure. So I said, look, you're going to think right now that you have a lot of customers. And you're going to be thankful and grateful that right now you have a lot of customers. You understand? He was a passionate guy, not the smartest thing.
Right,
Okay.
right.
He said, okay, fine. I'll do
Similar to a manifestation type of thing, like you're already seeing it.
positive thinking.
Right.
I don't have customers. I'm complaining about
Yeah.
it. So therefore, you don't have customers because that's what you say.
Right.
What you think is creating your reality.
Correct.
So I told him, now you're going to think that you have many customers.
Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll do that. I have video recording this. Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, I left. The next day, I came back. I was on my way. So I entered into the shop and I said, no. He said, look, the minute you left, I sold these bottles which I had never sold for 6 months. The bottle of whiskey was standing there. I sold this. I finished at 5 o'clock in the morning. My father is here 20 years. He never had such a business, such a day that came. I broke the whole shop here. It was unbelievable. Please come again. Take whatever you want. He thanked me like crazy. And I have recorded it and filmed it. And he explained to me, I just followed what you said without thinking.
Without being very smart. It was just, yeah.
Think positive, be positive.
Because it's very powerful. The mind can bring you down all the way and up.
Exactly.
It's such a powerful, it's the motor of the car. What was the strangest request you got when it came to hypnosis?
Yes, the strangest request.
I mean, funny is like
somebody who forgot where he put his keys. So he came to me. He said, "Put me in hypnosis. I want to remember where I put my keys."
You were in the right place and the right time. I mean, where did he find you? Right?
No, he went for a session.
He called you and he said, "Listen, I lost my keys. I need to find it."
He paid for it, but it didn't work. Why didn't it work? For two reasons. One, he was forcing himself to be in hypnosis. You don't force yourself. You have to let go.
You have to let go. And
I must be relaxed. I must relax. You never relax if you say I must.
But it's also a little bit weird. I must find this key. It's not about it's letting go. It's a whole different.
Yes.
This is not a tool to use for, let's say,
Yeah, and especially memory plays on mind. Memory plays on mind. Have you gone back to where you were in cheder as a child or in school? Have you gone back, adults?
With memories?
No. Where did you learn when you were a kid? 5 years, 6 years old?
Yeah.
Here?
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn. Have you gone back to your school?
To look at the building, let's say, pass by the building?
Yes, inside. Have you?
No, never.
If you would go now, you would say, that's such a small thing, small building.
Right.
It's
right. At that time, it was like huge.
I thought it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Why? Because memory plays according to whatever the perception is different according.
So it's not a lie, but it plays a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So it's not accurate.
Right.
It's not accurate, and therefore people can maybe even swear that something is true.
Correct.
But they invented everything in their mind. But they believe.
Well, a complete lie, they would swear? that is something.
It's a film. It's a movie that they built in their.
And they believe it.
Of course.
They really believe it. Like there are cases of pedophilia or like the crazy cases, and the people who are accusing the victims of completely making it up. Your memory is just what you just said right now. Is this a possibility?
Yeah, I don't say, but it can be a possibility that a person is inventing a story.
That's dangerous stuff.
We all do this, by the way. We all do this. I'll tell you how. you have an event that happened to you and let's say a few other people, the same thing. Now, that same event, a month from there, I ask you to tell me about the event, and I ask your friend and your friend, they'll say different story. They saw different things,
Right.
and they imagine different things. You can be in a car accident and you say a different story than the other one who
Wasn't the same.
So, but it's two people that had the same event, but they see it in a different perspective, and therefore they build a story behind
Right.
it.
That I can understand, but I'm talking about a complete fantasy.
Let me tell you a story. I was in a shop, and a telephone shop, and the lady wanted to take back her phone. So guy gave her back her phone, and she said, "Where is the cover? I need the cover." And the technician there said, "Look, we never take covers because we don't want the covers. I gave it back to you." No, 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 no. You have the cover. I remember that you have the cover. You say cover?
Yeah, cover.
And arguing 5 minutes like this. Then the technician says, "Look, we're going to stop the discussion. I have a camera here. We're going to look at the camera, okay? Look at the camera. You see? I gave you the cover." "Oh, I remember. I was in another shop. And in that other shop, I gave the cover." But she was so convinced that it was this shop.
Yeah.
And she was going to swear on it.
Wow.
That happens almost every day.
Wow.
Yeah. So
amazing stuff.
You have people who will swear. You never said that to me. You never say that to me. But yes, I did say, you just forgot. Because you only see or hear what you want to see or hear. There is a famous little clip video that we show in coaching. I don't know if you saw that video. It's a video of people playing basketball, right? And in that video, we ask the person count how many bounces the balloon is doing, or how many passes they pass the players. So it's a 2-minute clip. So the person counts 1, 2, 12, 15. At the end of the video, everybody says a number because they concentrate on the bouncing. And then we ask them, "Did you see the big gorilla in the film?" "A big gorilla? What are you talking about? There's no gorilla." "There was a big gorilla that crossed the plague." "No, let's pass the video again." And then we see a big guy, gorilla, crossing.
And you didn't even notice it.
No.
So what is your advice for people who want to try hypnosis for the first time? They never just go for it. What's the biggest misconception that people have about hypnosis?
No, but first of all, all this is super confidential. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm not going to put into the Monsi newspaper, whatever it is. Nobody will know. It's just between you and me. It's just.
But in a tight-knit community, everybody knows everything.
Nobody knows. I'm not from here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Here in the community, everybody knows what the other person is cooking for dinner.
You see, unfortunately, I get a lot of Chabad Bochurim, a lot of Chabad customers.
Is Chabad a little bit more open-minded than
open-minded
that you see in the very firm community?
For one reason, I get them. Because I am not Chabad.
Correct.
So they send to me because they say that
a complete stranger.
I'm not going to be in the community. I'm not going to speak about that.
Yeah.
I'm outside. I'm a foreigner.
Correct.
So
that works in your favor.
Yeah, and same thing here. Who cares? I'm not.
This is the place. Yeah.
There is a confidentiality. I'm not interested to speak. I see thousands of people. I don't care. I don't. Just for them.
It's not about that. It's about you have something that can relieve some pain for people.
That's why I give lectures to explain. That's why this podcast is so important.
The education is very, very important.
Exactly. The education to take care of yourself. There is a famous saying that in order to go outside of a room, you have to go in the room first.
Right.
If you want to go outside of fear, you have to go into the fear first.
Correct.
How can you
gotta face it.
How do you know what it is if you haven't tasted it? Right. I don't like children. I don't like this vegetable, but you never tasted it.
Right. You don't know.
Taste it first. Then you can say you don't like. It's fine, but taste
it first.
Come, see, sit down, listen. Maybe you'll get something out of that. And but it's closed-minded.
It's very hard. It's very
it's
hard
very
to
hard to
penetrate into the
re-educate people.
community. Yeah.
Yes, maybe if we're talking about Rabbonim, Rebbes, maybe an idea, because while you were talking, is to be able to have a talk and the same type of interview we have with Rabbonim,
Rabbi, give him to understand what this thing, how this thing can help.
but then they can tell to their
Correct.
community
That this
go,
is a.
if the Rebbe
They'll
sees
put a
that-
hechsher on it.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They'll say, okay, then
This
I
is
can-
something to consider, right?
It's an idea that just popped into my head.
Beautiful.
So maybe with your help, we can do something.
Is there any risk or side effect from? There's no risk. There's no side effects. There's nothing that you just. There's only a positive thing.
It's only positive.
Only positive.
It's only
And if you don't
positive.
want to continue, you don't want to continue. But at least give it a shot.
It
That's what you're
brings
saying.
changes. It brings changes. It brings changes. It's you can look at all the reviews on my name and in Google, and you can see the commentaries of people. It really brings such unbelievable changes that people are so thankful. Like this
Yeah.
girl who would not eat vegetable, like any other things that you wouldn't imagine. I have a bachur there that is, people have all kind of things in their head. He has a phobia of going out to the toilet.
Mhm.
If he goes out of his home, he will not go to the toilet.
Mhm. It only has to be in his house.
Yes, where it's a secure place and quiet place and whatever. So, okay.
So during the day in Shiva or whatever, he's not going to go.
No.
Yeah.
So,
Some people
he's
don't
going
like
to-
the public places because of the cleanliness and this,
Yes,
so
yes.
they'll rather not go.
this is going so far that if, let's say, he knows that he has to go out for the whole day or to travel, he will not eat for 2 days.
Just so he doesn't have to go to
Yes,
the toilet.
so he
Yeah,
makes
so it's
himself
affecting his
sick.
life. Yeah.
Sure, everything.
Terrible.
It's all kinds. All these things
Yeah.
have to be cured. This makes people unhappy with all
Right.
their struggling in their mind and all the stories they tell themselves.
Yeah.
In their things. And I see a lot of people like this. For example, okay, here in Monty you don't have such a problem, but in New York you may have it. In Paris you have a lot of this. You have people who have dogs. Okay,
Yeah.
goyim have dogs.
Yeah.
That's the way they walk
Yeah.
the dogs. I get one day a bocher who comes. Listen, I broke the shidduch. I broke my shidduch. Why? I was walking with my car on the sidewalk, and there is a little grandmother in front with a little dog walking. I panicked. So I ran away. I crossed the street very fast.
Yeah.
Almost got hit by a car
Right.
because this little
Dog.
dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Kala saw this and said, "What? You abandoned me in danger? Because for you, a dangerous dog.
Right. So you
I don't want a husband
that's
is
going to
not
run
going-
away.
running away and is not going to protect me." So I got all the bachrim from the yeshiva going into shidduchim. They came to me after that,
Right.
because it's stupid to live with such fears in the life.
Of yeah. Yeah.
It's not who cares about dogs? Okay, who cares? But it's in life. It's there, So it parts of life. And dogs are not so bad, Kelev.
Yeah, but when you grow up with that, the dog is
Yeah, but that's an education again.
yeah. Yeah.
I used to take my children to parks
Yeah.
and to go with dogs and pet the dogs and don't be afraid. They're
Right.
not afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
Because children, dogs are not there.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
And like this, they're not afraid. And it's important.
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind. Everything runs around. Now, the final question is, how did this change your personal life as far as
Very nice. I became calmer. I'm a very nervous person.
by nature?
By nature, I still kept my nervousness in speeding. I speed a little bit.
Okay.
I like the speed, but I became calmer and less nervous and more happy. I was always happy a little bit, but more happy because even if there are things that are like terrible, okay, settle down, sit down. Everything is a matter of how you react to a situation. The Ashgacha Prati gives you a situation, brings to a situation that can be hard because sometimes life is
Because
hard.
it's not what you want. When you want something different,
But how do you react to it is up to you.
it's up to you.
So you can react positively, you can react negatively. It's up to you to react according to that. And therefore, so I learned this, and I learned how to cope with more and more, and therefore to be able to help other people as well. So yes,
It
of course,
fulfills. It's a fulfillment.
it's a big fulfillment, a big fulfillment, and I'm very, very happy about it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I thank you so much for
I thank
coming.
you.
It was an extreme pleasure to
Same.
listen to the words of
Yeah,
wisdom
thank you.
from you. And what we'll do is we'll put your contact information,
very much.
everything. So if people want to get in touch with you,
Oh, yeah,
they
thank
can
you
get
very
in
much.
touch with you. And thank you very much.
I thank you.
What's a message that you have for the people who are listening? A short message.
A short message is to be open-minded. If you have a problem, don't let it stay. דאגה בלב איש ישיחנה. You have to speak it out. ודבר טוב ישמחנו. That's the end of the pasuk. Take upon yourself a good thing to be besimcha. So, בדאגה בלב איש ישיחנה, go and speak to somebody. Speak it out so it gets out of your system, out of your body, and then you'll feel better.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Excellent.